Welcome back to Character Select, where I'm going to get my ass kicked. See? Load ahead. This guy just has heads growing out of his torso. Makes no sense.
And they're like random heads, too. Oh, there's one of them.
Yeah, and now they're floating and shooting at me. He's like Horsehead, only evil. I'm gonna die. Fortunately, I have 2 more lives. And I'm dead. Brutally unforgiving. Always cast the shield spell. You always switch over to life, because you're gonna need it.
You're gonna have a bad time.
The funny thing is, there's an ability that you get later in the game, the downward thrust, which we will be getting, don't worry, because you almost need it. That makes this fight and Horsehead super easy if you get it before the palace, which is entirely possible. But it's not worth the effort.
Nope.
Yay, another palace sealed. Hey, attack will go up. Sweet. So I have level 4 attack. Everything goes up to level 8, in case anybody's, wondering about that for some reason.
I don't care.
Nope. What else came out around this time?
87? I think Ninja Turtles came out in 87.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, there's Bionic Commando. I love Bionic Commando. That game was just the most underrated Nintendo hit.
Castlevania was 87.
Really? I thought it was earlier.
One game I remember that was 87 that we used to rent all the time, and I'm not quite sure why, but I remember playing it a lot, was Burger Time.
Running over the fucking patties to make the burgers.
And then you get the pepper, and you're like, oh shit, this is it!
I got
pepper now, motherfucker!
I remember that shit.
I like that game. It was a fun game. Kid Icarus was 87, I believe.
Oh, Kid Icarus. That game... My sister, who is about 7 years older than me and has no interest in video games at all, except Candy Crush, because...
Candy Crush is evil.
I agree. She has no interest in games at all. She made fun of that game, and I still remember what she said to this day, and it was just...
What was that?
Well, you know how whenever he dies, he goes, meh, and he falls off the screen?
Yeah.
She was like, this is my impression of what he does when that happens. And she just made the sound. She probably doesn't even remember it now, but I can remember it clear as day. I can't play Kid Icarus without imagining it, and I die every time. It was hilarious.
Oh my god. Mega Man was 87.
The original Mega Man was 87, that's true.
Metroid.
Metroid I never really liked on the Nintendo.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't like Metroid until Super Metroid.
Yeah, Super Metroid was kind of the one that solidified the genre.
Yeah. It added in the whole Metroidvania sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, no, original Metroid did that too, it's just that...
Well, it wasn't as overt as it was in Super Metroid.
Yeah. It's the dead end. Gotta talk to this guy, but I've talked to Bagu.
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was 1987.
Which was replaced by...
Mr. Dream. Yeah.
In 1989, I think it was.
Because of that whole fun thing with Mike Tyson.
Going insane. It was pretty awesome.
What is it? Solomon's Key.
Hey, we're in Death Mountain. So, the key to Death Mountain is always go down. If you can't go down, go left. I think.
Science.
Nope, I screwed it up. Sorry. Always go down. If you can't go down, go right. But yeah. Now you know how to get past Death Mountain.
Whee!
Doesn't make it any easier, but...
what else was 87? Top Gun. I remember the Top Gun game.
I don't think I ever played Top Gun.
It wasn't very good, but I mean, for its time, it was, it was alright. It was just like it wasn't a flight simulator. It was basically move a cursor around on the screen until you can hit something. It's basically, if you ever played, what is it, Super Star Wars or Super Empire Strikes Back?
No, I've never suffered that greatly.
Actually, I enjoyed those games. They were pretty fun.
They were hard as shit. That's not true. I didn't play Super Star Wars, I played Star Wars on the Nintendo.
Yeah, that one was fucking hard.
Star Wars on the Nintendo?
Yeah.
It was unforgiving, sure.
Yeah.
All Nintendo games are unforgiving. That game gave you 10 lives, and then said if you lost all of them, at any point in the game, start over.
You want to know what's Nintendo hard? Like, Super Nintendo hard? Not Super Nintendo, but...
These fucking alligators?
No, Ghosts and Goblins. The original one on NES.
Ghosts and Goblins is unfair. It's not hard, it's...
You have to beat the game twice. If you die and lose all your lives, you have to start completely over.
I went the wrong way. Yeah. And
it is unreasonable.
If you lose all your lives on the second playthrough, you start over from the beginning of the first playthrough.
And it is just,
Yeah, it was bullshit.
I
think I played it once.
I remember watching, what was it? The show was Game Center CX. And it's basically this Japanese comedian plays through all these, like, really old games or whatever.
Right.
It's pretty cool. But he was playing Ghosts and Goblins, and after about, like, an hour of the episode, which was him having played for about, like, 18 straight hours, he makes it to the final boss and beats him, and he's like, yeah, game's over, I won, woo! And then it's like, oh, it was all an illusion, start again from stage 1. And he's like,
flipped
what?
His shit.
What?
Did he flip his shit?
No, that's the best part about that show. He never flips his shit over any of the most unreasonable things he's ever come up against. It is fantastic. He played Adventure Island and never, like, yelled at it.
There's a game that doesn't even pretend to be fair.
Adventure Island is ridiculous. Oh my god, I played it on an emulator.
I got killed by a bat.
Oh, no, don't die.
I'm trying not to.
But man, I played that on an emulator, and it's like, once you get past like the third or fourth set of levels, it's just like, we are literally aiming to make you as miserable as possible right now.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then they have the skateboard item. Oh my god.
Which was like, this is a power-up item that makes your life a living hell.
It's like, if you see it drop and you're like flying towards it, unable to stop yourself, you're like, no! Because for those of you who don't know this game and that particular item, Adventure Island is a side-scrolling platformer, like Super Mario or whatever, but you have to dodge things above you and below you, so it's like really narrow. And there's an item in there called the skateboard, and when you get on it, you cannot stop.
Ever.
You can't change direction either. You can only go forward, or you can slow yourself down. But you will continue moving forward forever until you die.
And slowing yourself down isn't very effective either.
No, it's not.
Just in case you thought it might be.
It is ridiculous.
Hey, I made it.
Woo! And there's another hole.
This one's okay, though.
Yep.
Except for these fucking assholes.
Ooh, nice dodge.
Yeah.
Didn't dodge that one. Or that one.
That's why I use the shield spell, because you can't dodge all of them. It's impossible.
And stop getting axed in the face.
How about I just get magic will go up?
Magical Trevor. I remember those guys. Bad.
Yeah.
Now I wonder if... Oh, I don't know. Did Ghosts and Goblins come out before this game?
Ooh, good question. Why don't you look it up with the power of the internet?
Woo! Because that enemy there moved very similarly to the Red Reamer from Ghosts and Goblins.
AKA Firebrand.
Oh my god, that was one of the most obnoxious enemies in a game ever. Ghosts and Goblins is actually 1985.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Huh. More interesting tidbits next time on Character Select. Where we'll talk about Ghosts and Goblins and how it made you want to kill your parents for ever buying you that game.
I thought we already talked about Ghosts and Goblins.
Okay,
We'll talk about it more.
I guess we'll talk about something else maybe, what the fuck ever.
Whatever.